Hey everybody, I'm here with Tracy. Can you let me know if you can hear me because Tracy can't hear me? Um, so if there's any problems, just put it in the chat and we will go from there. I'm going to let Tracy take over. And are you ready, Tracy? Take it away.
Oh, playing. So, hi, good morning, everybody from toasty saunified Huntsville, Alabama. Welcome to my. We can hear you, not her. Who can you hear? Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Okay, thank you, Viv. Thank you so much, everybody. Welcome. Um, Brandy's talking. Oh, okay, thank you. I'm not sure what I'm supposed to be saying here other than good morning. Welcome to my class. This is going to be a retro Christmas. And good. I'm glad you guys can hear and see me. I was really nervous this morning. And I'm showing this and I'm not sure, Brandy. I see something that says present, but I'm not sure what I'm supposed to be. Tell us. I do not have a summit freebie today. I didn't know what to do with that. You guys, this is my very first class, so it's all a learning experience for me. Did I have a lot of supplies for the class? No, not necessarily. Just ink blending, stamping. Always a stamping platform. Let's see. My favorite types of cards to make are good gosh, you guys. I like grunge. That's my me. Oh, thank you. You're so sweet. You're so kind. I'm a grungy card kind of girl, and I make junk journals and I make ATC cards and um all kinds of different paper crafts, but I tend to go for vintage and junk. I look for inspiration from some of my favorite creators, and I probably spend way too much time perusing Instagram, but also just looking at art, regular art, and getting inspiration from color, from texture, from things like that. Oh, thank you, Jana. Love my vibe. Thank you. I'm not sure what my vibe is anymore. What other questions? Oh gosh, what do I do with the cards that I make? Well, friends, let me tell you, I'm the worst card sender. I make a prolific amount of cards and they pile up in my closet until finally I give them away somehow. What inspired me to do the retro Santa and the colors for it? Okay, so the retro Santa is a stamp set that I got. I do some guest designing for Simon Hurley, and that particular set, because I chose the retro because I love retro, but that particular set is ultra retro, so that's kind of what got me there. And then the colors are, inspired by mid-century colors. Cat videos. Do I keep a card journal? No, I don't. Are you kidding me? I can barely remember. I have some, I'm an old person, I have some memory issues, and it'd probably be a great idea. How do I choose my colors for any given project? And my favorite tool in the craft room. Okay, so my favorite tool in the craft room is probably between my ears. I am a very imaginative person and I like to use my imaginations. Let's see here. What was the other question? See, I forgot already. How do I choose my colors? Well, if I'm looking at whatever I need to make, I tend to lean towards teals and things like that. But I love brown. So it just sometimes I will just throw color at something until I'm happy. Okay. I do have a YouTube channel. It is Not Afraid of Color. And yeah, I have lots of cats on my Instagram too, and I'm not mad. I like cats. What would I suggest to get started with the summit? I've never made a card and just started to learn to use my Cricut. Thank you. You know what? And your Cricut is an awesome tool, especially if you use Cricut Design Space. Um, I recommend getting cardstock and spending some time folding up cardstock. So I guess that's the best I could tell you is, like white cardstock and then build upon it. And so choose some designs that are easy to cut out and easy to weed. Um, Weeding is a nightmare for me. So my favorite ink. Oh gosh. Do I have to? That's like picking a favorite child. I am an ink junkie though. I love ink. Um, I've got all the Simon Hurleys. I've got all the Distress Oxides. I've got all the VersaFine Clairs. I've got most of the Lavinia Elements, which I love very much. Um, it just depends on the project. So if you are designing on a Cricut, there are lots of ready-made designs out there. So I had a Cricut. I got rid of it because I never used it. Because again, I'm not crazy about weeding. I do have a scan and cut. Yeah, being a craft junkie, nothing wrong with being a craft junkie altogether. Yes, the retro Santa stamps are awesome. I do not make multiples of cards. I'm a one and done because if I ever do, often I will make a card for somebody and then it just will sit here and never get sent. uh, these shelves. Okay, friends. So if you haven't heard the story, my husband, I'm kind of shy. I'm an introvert. And my husband will talk to anybody, everybody. We'll go in Walmart and he is just yapping away to every soul in there. But how that benefits me, this was from a grocery store that they remodeled. And it's one of those things that goes in the refrigerator for like frozen foods and stuff. And he brought it home and I said, that's mine. Bring it upstairs. So super cool find. He finds stuff all the time and I take it from him most of the time. Oh, thank you, Jana. Okay. So otherwise, yeah, go make friends with, a grocery store that's pretty defunct and looking like they're getting ready to remodel because they just throw this stuff away. Yes, I love this ink shelf too. And listen, though, friends, part of the reason that I'm fat is because of the ink shelf. I don't have to get up very much. Technique I'm mostly known for. Oh, goodness. Probably, ink smushing, grunge, ink blending, making a mess. I'm a messy. Oh, you know what? I'm known for my mad science experiments. So I love to play around with all products and see what I can come up with. And so I am known as the mad scientist. So my favorite type of cards to make are definitely cards that are different. I like different. I don't like to be the same as everybody else. Can't go anywhere with your husband. Yeah. My YouTube channel is not afraid of color. So I just made an ATC while I was waiting this morning, and this is kind of my style. It's just, kind of crazy. So you think, and you look at these and you're like, how can those colors, I don't know where the camera is on this doggone iMac, right there. How can these colors work? But they do. So, and how do you make work? And I do want to give that advice. How do you make colors work? Find a common color and use it. Hi, Vicki. Do I have any cards to show you? Oh my gosh, you guys, I have piles and piles of them. Let me see here. One moment. Can't show show you those. Okay, I'll pull out three very different cards. So this is kind of typically my style, kind of like Tiffany Solorio. Oh, thank you. Thanks so much. And then there's this light up card. I don't know if you can see the lights light up because it's got twinkle lights in it and it's a shaker. Although my shaker bits all got stuck to the side. It happens. I have to tell you that I make these cards and then I cannibalize them. And then I made this one for Craft Roulette. And this is an A9 card. And if I can get it up close for you, these, I used UV resin to get these stuck on. So there's kind of some different styles. And this is a retro style color. And you can see I've got the little retro stars and I've got the little retro, I don't know what those are, astronomical dealy bobs. Dealy bobs, that's what they are. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, you never know what you listen, and I can say this from, a creative standpoint. Oh, and let me go back to this. The reason you're probably going, why did she do that? Well, I think one of the parameters was Australia or maybe fairy. One of the parameters was fairy. And I have lots of fairies because I have Lavinia stamps, but I wanted to be different. And I had heard about this fairy bread or fairy toast that they have in Australia. I would never eat this, but yes. Okay. What tips can I share for ink splattering? Well, the first tip I'm going to say is say splattering, say spattering. I don't care. Either way works. My favorite tip is to use my splat box. But also, I tend to use a fan brush when I'm splattering. So, and the stiffer, sorry, I forget where I am. The stiffer, the better. This one's not stiff, but I have one dedicated for white and one dedicated for black, and I don't really clean them. When I say junk, what do I use for my journals? Well, everything. I use old paper bags. I made a journal one time on my channel with a lawn and leaf bag, a paper one that came from Lowe's, and it was like 100 miles long. And I made a, accordion fold journal. So some of them I make actually out of pure junk, and some I do use printables. Thanks. Yeah, resin. Listen, if you don't want to wait for glossy accents, here's what I do. So I have this little bottle, and this is actually an alcohol ink bottle. And what I've done is I've made a little black cover for it and then used some black tape. And this has UV resin in it, and it won't dry up or get messed up because of light when it's in this. And I pour it out just like you would glossy accents. And then I put the little light on it, and bada bing, bada boom. You have an instant hard, clear gloss finish if you were just like doing eyes on a card or something like that. The Lawn and Leaf journal is still up on my channel. I'm sure it is, but it's an older one. I have never taken anything down off my channel, but I'm not the most organized person. So it's old. I have a magnetic wall square. Well, no, because that's all I put on there. And those are actually cabinets that I just glued the stuff on. And but I do not store my personal dies on magnets, on magnetic sheets, because, for instance, I'm on the Trinity Stamps design team, and Trinity is very die heavy. Like, they have a lot of dies. And you know, I'm 65 years old. My wrists just don't work the way they used to. And it's too heavy to lift if all those dies are on magnets, say in one of these little scrapbook.com things. That's going to be too heavy for me to lift. And like, my current stuff has to live on the floor because there's no place else for it to live. I have utilized all of my vertical space. I have no space at all. Okay, what other questions? Okay, if you want to be on a design team, my advice would be to follow that product. So, for instance, you know, you're more likely to get looked at as a design team member if you've already shared things that you've made with that company's product. And so that's my best advice is get the product, even, or just use what you have in your stash. You don't have to buy something new. For instance, maybe you have waffle flower stuff, maybe you have Trinity stamps, maybe you have whatever. Use that and share it and tag the company. And then when they have a design team call, you've already got a leg up. What's the next new technique I'm going to try? Oh boy. You know what? I honestly have never played the shaving cream game. If anybody, I know some of you know what I'm talking about, where you put shaving cream in a container and then pour inks or paints into it. But lately I've been kind of into Zentangling. And so I thought that, like, for my channel members, I like to give something away every month. And usually it's a printable. And so I've got myself, this is just a doodle, like on a, I got myself some sketch paper, some good size, so that I could do some doodles and give them away. So kind of that, I guess. I don't know. I would like to marble paper, like real marbling. And I've seen it done and I've watched it done. I like to do anything with paper. I like to echo dye. I like to tea dye. I like to rip. I like to tear. I like to poke holes. It's really freeing to do something like that versus, like, a lot of my design team. This was the design team project, and a lot of my design team work, requires that I work with specific product, and kind of in a, I don't know. I mean, this is pretty grungy for Not Too Shabby Shop and Pear Blossom Press, but not that bad. It's not to the point of something like this. Tea dyeing for me is easy. Thank you, everybody. So just real quick, if you just get yourself a flat, long container, and I use iced tea, about 4 bags, and I just put a stack of paper in about that thick and pour hot tea over it, let it sit for 24 hours, and then pour the tea off and let the papers dry. That's it. Thank you so much, everybody. Yes, Susan.